Okay, so let's talk about Kriya, which is a gene therapy company working on type 1 diabetes and other conditions. This is their website, kriyatherapeutics.com. This is a picture of their CEO. And the next picture is Fraser Wright, who is a scientific co-founder and chief gene therapy officer. And Fraser Wright recently was on a podcast on taking care of your diabetes on YouTube. So Kriya is working on gene therapy for eye conditions, metabolic conditions, and neurology conditions. And the one we're interested in here is the diabetes. They do use adeno-associated virus, which is a pretty safe, low pathogenicity virus. And the AAV exhibits tropism, which means it tends to move toward certain types of tissue, depending on the type of AAV. Now this AAV delivers two genes. One is for insulin and one is for glucokinase. And the gene therapy is a long-acting shot given in the muscle. Now insulin gene, that would be an easy one to understand. The insulin is designed to get glucose into cells. But not everyone's familiar with glucokinase, or its closely related enzyme, hexokinase. So now we're talking about glycolysis and the Krebs cycle, something I learned in medical school years ago. Never thought I'd have to use it, but here it is. Glucose moves through glycolysis and then into the Krebs cycle to create energy. So the glucokinase is an isoenzyme in the first step of glycolysis that converts glucose to glucose 6-phosphate. You can see it right at that orange arrow near the top of the picture. And again, there's that very first step in glycolysis done by glucokinase. Glucokinase acts like a glucose sensor to decide how much glucose should be sent to glycolysis. Glucokinase has better kinetics than hexokinase for treating type 1 diabetes. So again, here is a long-term efficacy and safety of insulin and glucokinase gene therapy for diabetes in dogs, an 8-year follow-up. And it was 2 dogs with diabetes that had been treated with a singular IM gene therapy shot of insulin gene and the glucokinase gene years ago. And the basic results were that over 8 years, the dogs no longer required insulin. So a lot of work still needs to be done on this gene therapy in type 1 diabetes, but it is promising. I did another video on Sana.com, who's working on genetically engineered islet cells transplanted into the forearm, which do not require immunosuppressants. And this is really a cell therapy, islet cells, so it's different than just putting in the genes like Kriya is doing. So I'm hoping for an eventual cure for type 1 diabetes for the millions of people with this condition, which includes my 4-year-old granddaughter. So thanks for watching. This is Stephen Vig, and I am a retired internist in San Antonio, Texas.